So it is 10:18. A little behind today on planning. I'm get things done, but I'm done on Sunday still. It's okay. We got a few hours left before midnight, and not way behind on grading, but a little bit behind. There's been a lot going on. Yeah, and I know that you always have a lot going on, and I apologize for having everything come so late tonight. But you will notice that other than a discussion this week, you have notes only that are due Sunday, and you have a lot of videos to watch. Lot. You get 50 points for the notes. But it's due midnight Sunday, okay? And so I just kind of want to point that out. So why did I take so long? On one hand, it's because I'll just totally be honest. I have a lot of grading to do. I have a lot of reading to plan for. I had guests that stayed for a very long time, very long time. My daughter had a birthday, and then we needed some father-daughter time. And I got sick, and like all of you, you're like, whoa, time. Where is it at? What do we do with this? Now, look, I know, no excuses. Well, listen, I've let a lot of you turn in late work, so have mercy on me, okay? In any case, this is it. This is it for this week. We're pretty much done. The final will be a 25-point paper, and that's going to be relatively easy. This is the main stuff you got to get through. I'll explain more about the final later, but not a lot of stuff that you need to worry about as much. It's really about getting through this. And look, I have a lot of videos. I have my lectures mixed in with videos. It's a little choppy. I was trying to figure out, I've been working on trying to figure out how to cram in all this important set of details, especially in a cram course. I'll tell you, this is the hardest cram course I've taught in terms of how to get the information shoved in. For some reason, this was harder for me than my World Civ, and I've taught cram courses in World Civ. I taught a cram course for 101. That actually was the easiest to do, but this was a little bit of a challenge, to say the least. Especially because there's been so much going on, and I just, I decided I wanted to focus on, well, one, information that I know, but also what I think is really relevant, which is the issue of the war on terror and how we get to where we're at. And I think if you listen to all of my videos from my lectures plus what I'm giving you, you'll start to pick up on things. Now, look, I don't know. I'm interested. Please tell me by the end of the notes if you feel like you were able to follow this train of thought that I'm kind of trying to weave in together, and if you could really understand, did all this information just hurt your brain too much and you couldn't really follow stuff, or did this really help clarify things? My goal was to help this really for you to get clarity. And so, I put in a lot of the crash courses to kind of help fill in the gaps of just going through the presidential legacies, that we needed to cover from these two chapters. And then I kept weaving in what I thought was important in terms of understanding, U.S. foreign policy from the Cold War on and how it relates to everything that's happening right now. And, some of this you're going to hear repeated from me in the sense that, I try to talk about the issue of my bias or what kind of point of view I'm putting out. If for whatever reason you actually take the time to study, or look into some of these subjects and you want to throw out an alternative point of view, even feel free to put it in the notes. When you could say, Mr. Pollock, I saw you say something, I disagree for X, Y, or Z reason. I'm just happy to get students stimulated to actually talk about something that I think is a big deal myself. Okay, so because like I've told you, my specialty is more modern Middle East and a lot of U.S. foreign policy, and it's a very complex set of circumstances that go on, and so many factors there to consider. And I really do think that if we had a higher quality media, that we would, we'd be able to connect the dots a lot easier, because we'd have like some background information, more on where to go. But I mean, let's just think about this. Other than the map of the United States, how many of you can find Iraq right now on the map? Go. Okay. I mean, and it's not because you're not intelligent. I've substitute taught for years in different districts, and I really don't know, maybe more than one time I ever saw a class ever taught in the curriculum the globe, maps, geography. I don't know why, but it's really kind of painful. I heard once that there was a lady who wrote a book called War is God's Way of Teaching Americans Geography, and I'm not sure if that's really true. So, it's, but it's important, right? Like, to start kind of like looking at, I mean, and this is really the case. Look, when I taught my 101 class, America was very much in isolation a lot. I mean, we came out of the European theater, but we were really dealing with our neighbors, the Native Americans, right? And the British and Canada, the Canadians, and to a lesser extent Latin America, but definitely with Mexico. And then from we see World War I, here we come. World War II, we're getting really involved, and then boom, 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 and here we are, the greatest, largest empire that's ever existed in U.S. history. Are we an empire? I don't know. Do you disagree with me on that? What does it take to constitute an empire? We're certainly the world's largest superpower. Is it weird to say that we're an empire? I mean, as opposed to saying we're a superpower? Is that good for us? Does it help us? Harm us? What does it mean, right? So after you watch all these lectures and these videos, I'm hoping that you will just have some more food for thought to engage in that. And I'm going to be encouraging you, even in my last goodbye, farewell introduction for finals week, is just to say, I hope that this class has encouraged you to take more interest in your own country's history, but then also to see how our history in our country relates to the rest of the world. Okay, so that's really what I want to say. Again, I'm sorry for starting getting things done so late, and I'm sorry for myself because I have a 10-hour day at a kid center tomorrow, and I'm going to be very tired. But I know that some of you are working maybe more than me, and I promise you, when I become the new American dictator, I will just change everything by the sweep of my hand, and you will love me as the all-knowing one. Sound good? No? Okay, well, in any case, I'll feel you right here. All right, and have a good night, and contact me this week as you need to.